When you clearly don't work somewhere, but people seem to think you do. Welcome to this episode of I Don't Work Here, Lady. Our first one is from Earthwick. I worked as a manager at a theater for years. My outfit was slacks, a black dress shirt with the theater company's logo on the sleeve, and a tie. The place where I was always accosted was a place whose uniform was red with khakis. It was literally a minute from my job, so I was there often. It wasn't a one-time or two-time thing either. It was at least a dozen times across 18 months. I'd be shopping after work, or there on my lunch, or in the rare circumstance, rushing through to grab something we needed that we were out of, napkins usually, and some, almost always older lady, would start off in a rude voice. "So this product is on sale in the 8 ounce, but if I just get a 16 ounce, I should be able to get the discount doubled, right?" Or some such nonsense. At first, I would politely turn and point to the logo and say, "Sorry, I don't work here." Then they would usually huff off, all upset. One time someone said, "Oh great, it's hard to find enough employees and you aren't even one who works here." The final straw was when an elderly lady said it didn't matter that I didn't work there. I still worked in the service industry and should therefore help her. I pointed out to her that I had no clue what she was talking about, and that if I were to start working there and hurt myself, they would be liable, so they wouldn't want me working there either. The lady then asked if I could call my manager. I told her I am the manager and then walked away. From that point forward, I simply put my headphones in and just ignored anyone who talked to me. They could be shouting in my face and shoving me, and I would have still pretended they didn't exist. Fortunately, that never happened. When telling this story to my friends and family, I always got asked, why not just change shirts? I worked a minute from the grocery store and 5 minutes from my home. So because of other people's nonsense, I need to bring a change of clothes and change, getting that ever-present popcorn scent stuck in another shirt just to shop for 10 minutes? Hell no. I don't understand this phenomenon at all. If I'm somewhere and I need help, I'm very cautious not to disturb someone who I'm not sure isn't an employee, and even if I'm near positive, I'll start with, "Do you work here?" Also, I'm polite because I don't get what being a dick would get me. This is just a random rant. And this is somebody that has it right. They treat people the way they want to be treated, even if a lot of those people are treating them like an employee in a store they don't even work. It does amaze me how many people are unaware of the surroundings and what kind of uniform employees wear in the stores they shop. This next one is by MedicMe003. I just got off a 24-hour shift and stopped at Walmart. This lady walks up to me and asks, "Good, an employee. Where are the—" I can't remember the exact item. I smiled and said, "Actually, I don't work here, but I know where it is," and took her to it. I was still in uniform. Radio, trauma shears, everything. She was in her 30s, not a dementia case. I genuinely wonder how close to a Walmart uniform your paramedic outfit is. I don't know how you can mix the two up, unless they just saw the symbol on the back and just assumed it was the Walmart one. I don't know. Good on you for helping them though. This next one is from Literal Garbage, yo. This happened earlier this week. Told the story to some friends at a bonfire last night, and they all agreed I should share it here. Quick background info. I work at a company that installs custom closets. Our uniform includes a blue button-up Carhartt shirt with the company logo on it. I think some of you may already be picking up on where this is going. So I'm driving home from work after a very long and tedious day, completely covered in sawdust, when I get a call from my lovely wife. She had put in a pickup order at the local Walmart, but they had failed to give her our almond milk. She asks if I'd be willing to stop and let them know they shorted us and grab it. While I'm not particularly enthusiastic to add a stop on my way home, I tell her okay. I get there and head over to the customer service desk and explain the situation. The lady working there is very sweet and tells me that she'll have somebody from the pickup department swing over and take care of me. She gestures toward a nearby bench and informs me I can have a seat while I wait. I gladly did so and promptly pulled out my phone and attempt to disassociate for a few minutes. A few minutes, maybe 5 at most, go by and a line forms up. I guess the lady at the desk stepped away for a minute. I start to hear grumbling about lazy employees and how nobody has any work ethic anymore. Wish I could be more specific on their exact phrasing, but I was trying very hard not to pay attention to anything going on around me at this point. After a few more moments, I hear a very aggressive clearing of a throat, followed by a very annoyed sounding,
"Excuse me, sir. I've been waiting for help for over 10 minutes.
I look up and see a woman holding an armful of clothes, glaring at me. She will henceforth be referred to as Glaring Woman, or GW for short. Well, I find that unlikely as I haven't even been here for 10 minutes and I got here before you.
Well, maybe this would go faster if you weren't messing around on your phone."
At this point, I've now connected the dots and realized that she thinks I work here. I'm about to utter the words, classic "I don't work here" line, when an idea hits me. You're right, sorry for holding you up. I pull up the Walmart app on my phone and show her the almond milk. My wife and I didn't get the almond milk we ordered. We were supposed to get 2 cartons.
"Why are you showing me your phone?"
So you can grab me my almond milk. Is that not why you're here?
"Ew, no, I don't work here."
Cue's malicious grin. Well, neither do I. How about we stop bothering each other now? She looked me up and down and I could see realization dawn on her face. She quietly walked back to the line and I sat back down on my bench. Eventually, the desk lady came back and got the line moving, and an employee from pickup came and got me my almond milk. And that's the story. At least she didn't try to get me fired. The fact that she tried to claim she was waiting longer than you when you in fact got there before her and watched her walk up just says a lot. These Karens and people in general they like to spin lies to try to get their way. I'm glad you spun that and flipped it right back on her. And our final one is by Scrudgemeyer. Well, the place I work at just bought these rather spiffy red polo shirts with our logo on them, mostly for when we have an event at the center. I'm getting off of work and I'm heading into town to pick up my wife from where she works so we can head home. I'm hungry as hell, so I pop into the convenience store nearby and stop and order a sandwich. I'm kneeling down so I can look at the chips they have to offer, and I hear from behind me,
"What the hell are you doing here?"
This raises an eyebrow because I have no enemies in the area, or anyone who would talk to me like that for that matter. I chalk it up to someone talking to someone else and get back to my chip selection.
"Don't you ignore me, you little punk! Who gave you permission to come here?"
Okay, since no one else answered him, I'm guessing he's referring to me. No idea as to whom this asshat is, so I reply, "I didn't think I needed your permission to go anywhere." And I go back to selecting chips for a snack. The dill pickled chips are intriguing me.
"Listen, you little fuck, as your shift manager."
I got tired of it at this point. I drew into my full 6'2" height, turned so he could see me clearly, and said, "As my shift manager, you'll do what?" Imagine the scene in the 2009 Star Trek movie where the Enterprise rises out of the atmosphere of Titan. That's the sort of music I imagine is playing when I do my slow rise and turn. What I saw when I turned around was the top of a head. A slight correction and I see someone wearing a maroon McDonald's shirt and a nameplate declaring that he is the shift manager. As the rather short fellow realized that I wasn't who he thought he was, all the color ran out of his face and his ability to speak was really diminished.
I'm awful sorry."
The next thing I saw was his little ass blue shifting as he runs out of there like he wants to break the lightspeed barrier. Turns out, thanks to clarification by the store clerk, there is a person at the McDonald's who looks a little like me, but doesn't have the whole "I'm about to rip out your soul and use it to wipe my ass" look on his face when he's annoyed. He's also about as short as the manager I just scared the shit out of. Odds are, he asked to make a run for something and was told no by the manager, who later decided to step out. Likely he assumed, incorrectly, that I was the guy, and he tried to intimidate me. Nothing like the smell of stupid in the morning. It amazes me the managers that think they can disrespect their employees, and a lot of places nowadays are wondering why they're having a really hard time getting and retaining employees. Maybe a lot of those places should look at the management they have and do some readjusting. This played out beautifully though. I guarantee you that manager was pissing his pants. At least he apologized. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.